record, but I don't know if it's doing it or not. I'll find out after.
Okay, it just told me it's being recorded.
Okay. So I don't know how I'm going to go about getting it to you because I have the basic package. I bought it, but it's only like 1 gigabyte in the cloud. And I think that our meeting is probably going to be way more than 1 gigabyte in the cloud. So I'm recording it to my computer. So I don't know how that's going to work, but that's why I told you guys ahead of time, you know, if you wanted to set something up, that's cool. I have my camera on over there too to record here.
Oh, what are you doing with this stuff? Are you just putting it on your channel then, or?
Yeah, I thought I'd put it on the channel.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't even think about that.
What'd you say, Kelly?
I said I didn't even think about that. I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey, everybody's trying to find things to do while we're in quarantine, so it's something to do. So, but anyway, so if I can share the Zoom video with you, I will, and you guys can use that too in any fashion that you want to, if I can figure out how to do it. So, but anyway. All right, Tina, it's your turn.
What am I supposed to be saying?
Tell us a little bit about yourself. She's a fun channel. If you guys have never gone over there, she has really interesting things. I forget the name of your channel, but
That's a mild way of putting it.
Very interesting, fun things on her channel. Go ahead.
Range. No, I don't know. I'm old. I do this to make a living, full time, but it's kind of been a little stinky here lately because of, you know, everything that's going on. My sales have dropped, but I have a shop on Etsy, and I started that first. And then I'd say probably about 8 months after I did that, then I decided to start a YouTube channel. And I've been finagling with that. I've got quite a bit of videos up. I've got a little over 300 subscribers now, but it takes time, a lot of time, and especially when you like weird things like I do. It's not everybody's cup of tea, so it's just really hard, I guess, to find that niche, you know. So I think it's going to take me longer to get subscribers than, you know, most, but I'm patient, so I'll wait.
How long have you been doing it, Tina?
I guess it's been probably, I think it was the last October is when I uploaded my first video.
Okay.
And yeah, it was a flea market, and I just thought, I don't know why I thought I was going to do this. I can't remember the exact thing that provoked me to do it. I think it was probably just because of watching everybody else's videos, and it got me, you know, excited, and you know, I thought, well, I'll try it, I'll see what happens, and then just go from there. And that's pretty much all you can do. And then try to do your best, and then, you know, hopefully progress, because, you know, everybody, when you first start doing this, your videos, when you go back and watch your videos, even if it's been, you know, just 6 months, you want to cringe, because you're like, did I really say that? Did I really do that? Did I think that was okay at that time? You know, kind of thing. And yeah, I find myself doing that quite a bit. So, but I think I've gotten better. I've gotten more comfortable. I mean, at first it was like, constantly. And I sounded like a robot, you know?
I don't know.
And it wasn't like, you know, you have to kind of.
But I've never thought that. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, but you have to treat it, I guess, like you're talking to a friend. So I've gotten more relaxed, and I feel better. And I think that's coming off of my videos that I'm relaxed. So I think that helps. But you have to get over your stage fright, which I had major stage fright coming on here.
No.
So, because I've never done this before. I've never done a live before. I've never done a video chat with anybody. So,
well, now you have.
You're the first one.
Yay. Well, the nice thing about this, though, guys, is that it's not live. So whatever whatever we share is something that we'll do later. It's not live. It's live for us, but it's not live for everybody else. So in a way, that kind of makes it a little less in my mind, a little less scary. But, tell everybody what the name of your channel is, Tina.
It's a Vision and Vintage Co. And I went with that. It was just a Vision and Vintage, but when you set up a shop on Etsy, somebody had already taken that name, so I had they added the CO on the end. So I just went with it, and then so people could find my YouTube channel, I did the same thing. I named my YouTube channel A Vision and Vintage Co. so people would be able to find them. But yeah, I got it out of a magazine, I think. I don't remember. Something like that. I seen it and I'm like, oh, that's a cool name. So yeah.
Well, welcome.
I don't know. Did you guys have anything specific? Because I've got so many things that I could do a show and tell on. Is there anything in particular?
I have like 3 things sitting next to me to do in a minute, but we'll go back around. We'll let Mary introduce herself, and then we'll come on.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have Kelly. I'm gonna have you say some more things too, since I'm filming now.
Okay.
Afterwards. But anyway, go ahead, Mary.
Okay.
Okay. I live in upstate New York, near Albany, near the capital, and but I live up in the mountain area. And I started when I was younger. I had crafts. I did a lot of crafts, and so my name for that was Heavenly Treasures. And then I started doing the collecting, and then I also do chalk paint, and where I go to like get different things and reclaim them and do them with the chalk paint and everything. So it kind of is a combination of making it reclaimed treasures. And I also am a photographer, and I do mostly nature photography, and I've sold that together with my chalking stuff. So
That's neat.
I've always, yeah. And I've actually made a couple like shadow boxes that have my pictures in the background, and the chalking over that. And I've as of late been very versed in the video chatting, because I'm occupational therapy assistant, and I work in the school district, so we're home, and we're having Google Meets and Zoom, and so I have my little background here because where I'm in my bedroom. So I put my little drop, or it's one of those accordion door things, so it's always, business on top and pajamas on the bottom. So, but, yeah, so I've been home since like just before St. Patrick's Day, and I do actually OT just got approved in New York for teletherapy. So starting next week, I'll be doing my therapy sessions on the internet with the kids. So that should be interesting. So, I don't know if you had any other questions or.
I was going to tell everybody that I watched your videos, Mary, and Mary's got a like a she shed, but it's a trailer.
Oh yes. I was gifted an older like 1970s camper trailer, and so I'm calling my she trailer instead of my she shed. And so I did a couple of videos just showing it and everything. And then we had a little not a bad issue, but there's a part where my crafting and my reselling stuff was on our porch, and it had to be done. So all my reselling stuff and my crafts are now down there, and it's like it took over. And so I just haven't had a chance, since the weather's been so cold and snowy, to get down there and put everything away. So it looks like a craft store exploded in my trailer. It'll be nice to make it.
I think it'd be dangerous to have one of those campers out there, because I'd probably live in it and tell my family to fend for themselves.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Be like, see ya.
Yeah.
Especially
And right now there's no electricity on to it yet, so it's a work in progress. And just a little setback that I can barely walk through it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've only started making videos recently, and then there was a bit of a gap because of the things for school that you normally have to do kind of accumulated more being online, and you have to document everything now. So there was a little space between the videos.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping it's calmed down.
my sister is a math teacher, and she says that she's teaching online now, and she says that, and you would appreciate this, Kelly, as a former teacher. She's never worked so hard in her entire life. She says like it's 3 times the amount of work teaching online as it was teaching in the classroom. And she's frustrated though, because she feels like her administration is going to, in the end, they're going to tell everybody it's pass fail, and she will have jumped through all these hoops for nothing.
Oh boy,
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
that's hard.
Anyway, I'm Cyndi. I don't. I'll tell you a little bit about myself too. So I was Mimi's Treasure Cottage, and I started Mimi's Treasure Cottage last June. So I haven't. I'll be coming on a year. So I was going to tell Tina. I think that 300 people in the amount of time you've been on is really wonderful. I think I was at 30 people from June until August. And in August is when I went and visited. I took my daughter to school in Boston, and on my way home, I went through and asked Dee from the Thrill of the Thrift if she would be interested in collaborating if I stopped in Niagara Falls. So she was very kind and said she would. So I met with Dee, and that boosted me from 30 to 300 people. But between then and now, it's like been slow going to get those people. So that's been, I mean, to have that many people in your own way is, I mean, that's a really wonderful thing. But so anyway, I don't know if you all are familiar with Dee and if you've seen her video today from the Thrill of the Thrift, but Dee has, she was diagnosed with COVID-19, and she was in the hospital this past week, but thankfully she's home now. So she posted a video today. I was really excited to see that. Yeah, so that was fun. But anyway, back, so that's what propelled me forward, and I keep hoping that I'm going to get to 1,000 before my anniversary date, but we'll see. Kelly, go on back to you and say a little bit more about yourself, especially since now we're recording, and when you said hi before we weren't recording.
Okay, I just was told that I have an unstable internet connection.
Sometimes it does that, but it hasn't done anything on our end. Mine always does me that.
I couldn't hear everything you were doing. You froze on me. So
okay.
Anyway, if it seems weird and just.
So if you were looking at me like this,
yeah.
you can't hear me.
So I think I probably started around the same time as you. Well, I don't know. I started in May of last year, so close to you. Yeah, it is not easy, that's for sure. So I also have an Etsy shop, which I've had closed down because I just I lost my mom Christmas Eve. So a lot of family adjustments, and I was taking care of her for the last couple years and taking her to all her appointments and everything. So I'm just kind of restructuring life, and that was the channel was a great way for me to just kind of forget about the other stuff that I was doing. And then I recently in November got an antique booth. So I have that, and so I sell on Etsy and the antique booth, and I am at 444 right now. That is my magic number. But I'm telling you, it's like, oh, it is, slim pickings. So
they go up 2, they come down 2. They go up 3, they come down 1.
I know.
I don't know about you, but that's how mine are.
Yeah, and you are always so sweet. You always comment. I put a lot of research into mine because I love that research component. So I feel like, oh, I don't, I get frustrated just because of the fact that it's like, am I boring people to death? Because I just love the history of things. So I don't know. Who knows?
Well, I enjoy your channel.
I think we're always learning, so I mean, you just have to do the best you can.
Right.
Hey, Tina,
because I mean,
go ahead.
There's been a lot of comments like in the beginning when I first started, because I was sharing my videos with people that were subscribed to like the Crazy Lamp Lady, and they're used to seeing her content and what she picks. And so when they came to my videos and looked at mine, you know, I had a lot of people come over and look at it, but nobody subscribed, but just a handful of people. And that was because, you know, her taste is totally different than mine. So her following is looking for something different than I had to offer. So, you know, you're not going to please everybody. So it's just, you know, it's one of those things where I guess unless YouTube picks like a video up or something and starts recommending it, you're probably not going to see a huge difference in your subscribers.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I jumped up
Yeah.
is because of Misty at Thrifter Junker Vintage
Oh,
Hunter,
okay.
because she did a shout out to me on one of her videos, and that made a huge difference. But you know, stuff like that, you can't always guarantee that's going to happen.
Right.
Right, right. I thought of you, Tina. I started to say this a minute ago. I don't know if you guys all watch Blue Bus Dave, but Blue Bus Dave, he went out and he was garbage picking, and the homeowner was clearing out an estate and invited him in to look at stuff. Well, anyway, one of the things that he wound up buying was a gynecologist table from the early 1900s. Out of you with the old stirrups.
I would have nabbed that up right away.
I did. I thought, oh,
Yeah.
I love that sort of thing.
Well, that's me.
Anything weird,
Like-
if it's weird, I'm attracted to it.
Yeah. If it's,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm the same
My
way.
family thinks I'm out of my mind. They don't agree with any of my decorative choices at all. So I don't know. I'm just going with what makes me feel good. So
Yeah.
if I'm happy with it, then I'm the one that's got to look at it all the time. So
Well, and I think it has to be organic or it just doesn't come off right. You know, if it's not you, then I think that's doing a disservice to yourself. So,
True.
right. You want to feel comfortable in your own skin, and weird is comfortable to me. So
enjoy it.
yeah,
You
I
know?
do. I thoroughly enjoy it. I think, you know, the whole situation, like with Edward Scissorhands and Alice in Wonderland, things like that, they're real whimsical, kind of off the normal path.
Mhm.
That kind of stuff just really I'm attracted to. And that's kind of like the things I'm attracted to in life, is anything kind of, you know, that's not the norm, you know. So I mean, just like the other day, I don't know if you've seen it, Cyndi, or not, but that planner that I found, that was it was a little like a rooster standing next to a little like house,
Mhm.
and it's a vintage planner,
Mhm.
but the rooster has a human face.
Yes, I saw that.
And when I seen that, I was like, I have to have it because it's strange.
I'm the same way. I think the weirder, the better. And I adopt people all the time. I'm always coming home with old pictures. I cannot
Oh, I
leave
love old
them
pictures.
at
Yeah.
all. And people are like, who are these people? I don't know.
She'll ask me that. I'll make art with an old picture, and she'll go, oh, who is this person? Like it might be related, or it'll go, I don't know.
I'm not
Right.
going to cut up my family members.
Who knows who that is? Yeah, that's funny. That's too
Yeah, people immediately think that it's, you know, a relative or something, but no, I mean, you have people in your house in frames on your walls that aren't related to you that are dead. It's like, because I like it and
And they
because it's
speak to
interesting.
me. They speak to me.
Exactly.
They're like, take me home.
Uh-huh.
excited. I actually just inherited an old vintage picture that it would be something, a huge thing that I would buy at an estate sale. But it actually is a relative, so it's kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to bringing that home and putting that on the wall. It'll be my first one of an actual relative.
Actual blood relation.
So, all right, do you guys all have your stuff to share? Your show and tell stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, we'll go around again the same way. Kelly, if you want to start, you can start and show us what you brought.
Okay. So both my things are Valentine related. And, you know, that was when everything started to look like it was going downhill. And then they're also Boston related. So I have 2 items. And the first item I'm going to share with you is an item that I got for $8. And I bought it at an antique store, but it was one of those that has the booths that, you know, you'll see the primitive crafts and things. So I got the feeling that whoever booth that I bought this at didn't really have any clue to what they were doing as far as pricing. So what I have is a early 1900s, this is a chocolate box. So it's like an oil painting for Samoset chocolate
Oh, that's
out
awesome.
of Boston. And when I open it up, I mean, it's just fabulous.
It looks like it's in perfect
It's in
shape.
such good shape. And like I said, it's the early 1900s. Look at the inside. It's got this beautiful embossed paper and all these spots. And then here's the logo. So this company wasn't in business for very long. They were late 1800s to like 1920s. And they also had closed down because of World War I. So they were a very high-end chocolatier that provided chocolates to drugstores and pharmacies around the country. But I have not been able to find a comp on this one because it's so ornate. So I did take a jeweler's loop to it because it looks like it's an oil canvas, and because it is a canvas for sure, but it is a print. It's got the, you know, the dots. So it's pixelated. But yeah, I mean, stunning. And yeah, $8. So the closest comps I could get were, you know, about 50 or 60, but nothing like this at all. And after doing the research and knowing that the company was bought out in the 20s, you know, that gave me the date. So it's over 100 years old.
Wow.
So
I'd hang on to that.
so here's what I did, because I'm like, oh my gosh, you can't hang on to everything. But I really loved this. And I'm like, oh boy. I put it in my booth. And I put it in my booth for $98, which, I mean, I personally, because I have not been able to find anything like this. I mean, there are some that have like the oils on it, but they're not as elaborate as this, and you know, all the lace detail and the ruching. So I thought, well, if somebody really, really loves it, they'll pay that. And no one paid that. So I'm like, oh, thank goodness. I rarely do that. I usually price things to move, but I mean, I just loved it. But I thought, you know what, you can't keep everything. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And so I think she's really close to the time where they probably went and sold the business because of the fact that she has the shorter hair. So that's like indicative of 1920s. And the other cool thing is this Samoset, you know, that was the Native American that came to the Pilgrims and everything with, who was that? I don't remember the history lesson, but he spoke English because he had been on watching the ships come in. And the first thing he came to, when he came to the Pilgrims and the colonies, he asked them for beer. So that was, he ended up having like that kind of folk legend, you know, type of personality in, you know, the Boston area. So that was a couple different things where like the hotels and things were named that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
You know, for a long time, they didn't have, there wasn't any good water to drink, like safe water to drink. So that's what they drank was beer.
Yeah, works for me.
Me too.
So the second thing I'm going to show you is an old photo. And you probably are all familiar with this photo. It's called, there's 2 that are in the series, Awake Cupid and Sleeping Cupid. And what I did was I went to a church thrift store, found it. It was $2 and then 50% off. And this is a reproduced piece that has been reproduced so many times that, you know, it's been made into postcard art and everything. But it looked kind of old, but the frame looked cheap. And I thought, I'll take a chance on it. So I'll show you the frame first. So it looks like this. It's got cardboard back. But anyway, the picture was halfway, it was slid down because it had this matting. So the picture slid down in here. So today I just pulled it apart because I'm like, okay, finally I have to, do something about this. And I talked about it in my video. I just said, oh, it's, just print. It's not anything big. And it is a print, but so here is the print. Can you guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking.
So, are you familiar with this artwork? Have you seen this?
They haven't cooked it, I don't think, but it's cute.
Yeah, there is. So this was done in the late 1800s and 1896. And this particular print was done by the Prang company, like Prang, Ohio Arts Prang kind of company. And this was out of Springfield, Massachusetts. And this actually, the market was flooded with them. I mean, Sears sold copies of them, but this little, this particular picture, I think dates to like 1908. So over 100 years old. It doesn't have a ton of value, but it was an interesting find. I thought, to think that it was just, a really, just cheap reproduction. And then when I got it out of the frame, realized, oh, it's actually worth something. So some of them are selling for $30.
Oh, wow.
And then you'll find some that are selling for 10, 15. It just depends. This market's so weird, with everything going on. So I just did 2 things. Those are my 2 things, but I love that chocolate box. So
That was
I really
very
wanted to
cool.
share that.
But we let
And I didn't get a chance to share it.
historian go first. Now we're all going to be like, I know I don't have
Oh,
all
you should
that
see.
information.
I took it easy on you. Here are my notes. See, I'm a geek like that. I just
Oh,
love
I
all
love
that.
it. I love it. I'm just not, when I first started my videos, I actually tried to do that. I tried to look up everything and, make note, but that's just not me. So we all have to find our own path as to
Right,
what
exactly.
works for us, Like I talk way too much in my videos.
Oh, that's for sure. I do the same thing, for
That's
sure.
me. I talk. I like to tell stories and I like to show things. So, I guess that's just kind of how I've fallen into that. But anyway, all right, Tina, what did you bring? On over to
I'm
you.
next.
Yep, you're next. On my screen, that takes us counterclockwise. So where do you?
Okay, if I have to. I didn't know what to do. I just grabbed this because I found this. I don't know how well you're going to see this, but
That's cool.
it's like an old photo album.
That's really cool.
That is cool.
I would have bought that.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's in pretty good shape. I mean, of course, the spine of it is kind of a little funky, but it's an album. I imagine that was like a photo album, but I found it at a there's a store, and I wouldn't even call it an antique store because she has a variety of things that I think she thrifts, like at Goodwill or wherever she finds stuff and puts it in her shop. So she has pretty good prices that are kind of comparable to somewhere in between an antique store and a yard sale.
Mhm.
So if I find anything at her shop, it's always priced great. And it's always, something that I can make money off of in my shop. The problem with this is I run into the same problem that you had, Kelly, with the chocolate box.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that somebody, like a scrapbook.
Scrapbooks are tough.
Yeah, and they took and put a bunch of different pieces of, nibbits of this and that, like invitation cards, Valentine's cards.
Wow, that's cool.
That is really cool. And so many people will buy those and they'll take them apart and they'll, and they'll piece it out to sell it. I don't have the heart to do that. I can't do that. I have several.
I didn't want to do that myself because I figured, you know, somebody took the time to put all this together.
Exactly.
And so I have it listed in my shop as like a, you know, like a scrapbook kind of vintage
That's exactly
thing,
what it
which
is. Yeah.
I didn't know what else to do because it's like I can't list it as a photo album because it's not a photo
No,
album.
that's absolutely scrapbook. And there are people that collect scrapbooks big time.
But
Did
the
it rip?
page fell out.
Oh no. Well, then you can take those apart.
Yeah, it's old because I found something and an invitation or something in here, and I don't know what page, of course, it's going to be on. But it was like dated, like, you know, between 1900 and 1910.
Yeah.
So it must have been like maybe a young girl's or something. But it's just got, you know, all of her little cute memories. Like this right here is another cute.
And that's worth some money right there because it's the military.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's just, I mean, it looks like there is some that maybe fell out, you know, or had been taken out. But like this is really pretty right here.
Yeah. What are you listing it for? How much?
You know, I should have checked.
Want to make it?
I don't remember. I'm such an airhead. I didn't prepare.
Just give a rough estimate. What are you thinking that you?
I think I paid around like $10 for it, maybe.
Price, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and I think like with shipping and stuff, I think I might have it listed for between $40 and $50. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I probably should have looked that up before I got on
No,
here.
don't worry about it. You're fine.
But yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of really cute images. I don't know. Like I know this for sure is really old. I don't know how this dates back to, but you know the postcards like these where they had the little pieces of lace like paper that they would stick on there and they would make them themselves.
Yeah, that's like 1890s to early 1900s.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know. I have when I bought it in a estate sale, a Valentine that looked like that too, that I picked up.
Yeah,
and
like right around the turn of the
$6.
century.
I was real excited to get it.
That was a good find.
Yeah, I thought it was too because I love all that old papery stuff.
Oh, ephemera. And
I don't know.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and gosh, it started when I was a kid because I would save all my birthday cards, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, when I would go to the grocery store with my mom, I had to have stickers or a book or something like that. So, and my dad and mom were both bookbinders. So I was big into, you know, they would bring books home or whatever. And so I'm just a big person into like papery stuff. I love all that stuff. And it's I think a window into the past. And I don't know, I just enjoy it. I like it a lot. Well, there's too many things I like actually. I need to stop.
Well, Cindy's a big paper person, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love vintage ephemera. I just love it. And the vintage photos and I found a scrapbook at an estate sale several months ago too. It doesn't have invitations and things in it, but the person pasted all kinds of cute little, like they cut things out of greeting cards and pasted all over. And I was so excited to find it. I was like, oh yay, it's mine. So excited.
I used to do stuff like that when I was a kid too. I used to take like old albums and like cut out newspaper clippings and just this and that and put them in there. I don't know. I guess it's a thing. It passes the time, but nowadays I don't know that kids do things like that anymore.
No.
Everything's, you know, electronic. So,
Yeah.
well, if you want to, I can show you this. But it isn't anything that I thrifted. It's something I made.
Okay.
It's just an old It's an old picture frame,
Mhm.
and I just put a bunch of little tidbits. I don't know how well you're seeing this, but there is money in there and pictures and like tickets and things like that. And it's all just from a trip that I took in, I think it was 1984, to Germany to visit my grandmother. And I just put a little, like a collage together of the paper stuff and have it hanging on my wall.
I like it.
So,
That's pretty.
I like your
but that's
bulletin
it.
board that you show too, Tina, in your videos that you've showed before, your bulletin board thing. That's really cool. I like all the things you have displayed on that.
Yeah, it kind of accumulated over time. You know, I would just find something and then I'd stick it up there, and then I'd find something else and stick it up there. And my husband says it looks like somebody threw up all over it, but I like it.
I think it looks great.
Yeah. So that was my big contribution.
Yay. All right, Mary, it's your turn.
I don't have anything else.
Okay, I did get a couple things. This one thing I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. It's like the Russian dolls, but I
Yeah.
wasn't sure what it was. And then you open it up, and it's actually the three little bears and Goldilocks. Oh, there's Mama Bear. Oh, sorry.
That wasn't you, that was the bear.
Right, yeah. And then
Exactly.
there's Goldilocks.
Oh, that's
Like, and then the little tiny baby bear.
Where'd you find that?
Actually, at our Salvation Army here in New York, and so I thought it was pretty cool, but I couldn't find anything on any comps or any, just trying to, so I haven't listed it yet because I can't seem to find anything, and it's pretty neat. I love the get it matched up because I wasn't
I
sure
like
when
it.
yeah, it has like a little door and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Really cool.
But I haven't found any. Took a whole bunch of pictures, and of course the part on the bottom, it's a little ripped. I don't know if it's gonna. I don't usually film on my laptop, so but it, of course, right when you want to know what it says, it's ripped down there. So I just keep it around till I figure out what it is.
I think those nesting dolls are coming back, aren't they?
I think so.
Where
Yeah.
people are interested in them again.
Yeah, and this one's a different kind of topic. It's definitely looks painted, like hand painted and then glazed over. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's neat.
Yeah.
I love the little tiny things too. So I love that the little baby bear is in there.
Yeah, yeah, it's so cute, and it has all the little oh, sorry. Oh, like even their little tushies are painted on and everything, and so I thought it was cute.
That is really cute.
And then get back. Let's match up. There we go. Now the other one is I've been into the collecting of the cards and stuff, and I want to try a junk journal. And there's a sort of thrift shop. It's near where I work in 2 different school districts, so near my one school district. But it was it looks like somebody's house, and then they made it into a little thrift consignment store. And I saw this. I don't know if I have this in my one video, and it's a book, and but it's totally, it's kind of art. So I want to use the pages for my junk journal, but it's definitely in rough shape. And but it says the illustrations are from 1919,
Wow.
and it's the edition is 1934. But it has a lot of different color pictures, and then some poems and different things. So I thought it was really, really pretty. And I was thinking even like maybe making the junk journal like out of the pieces, you know, because they're coming apart.
Mhm.
So, and it
I
just
love
has a lot of really cool,
I
a
love
lot of
old
cool
books like this.
graphics.
So pretty.
A lot of people are selling just individual pages out of books.
Oh
It
yeah.
has good artwork,
Mhm.
and I actually just bought one the other day. I just got it in the mail, and I paid $10 for it,
Wow.
just for the picture out of a book,
Yeah,
because of
like
the
this one.
content.
Yeah, it's really.
They're beautiful.
I like the graphics, so
I love it when
so
I
I
find
was really
things that
happy because the.
Go ahead. I'm sorry to talk over you, Mary.
Oh no, it's all right. And I went, but I keep going back because I'm only at that school district 2 days a week, and that would be open, and they didn't have a price on it, so I kept coming back, and I only paid $5 for this.
Wow. That's
So
good.
I was like, oh yeah. They were like, how much is it? And they said $5. I was like, oh yeah, I'll take it. So I was so happy to get it.
I get excited
then
when
I
I
do
find
have-
them that are falling apart like that because, like you, I've made a few junk journals and I love to do that sort of artwork with them. But I can't take a book. There's so many people that do it. I can't take one that's in good condition and use it because it has
yeah.
value the way it is. So I'm looking
Right,
for
right.
I go places and the more tatters it's in, the better. Like I've had people like say, I've actually had people give me things for free because I'll say, oh, hey, how much is this thing that's falling apart? And they're like, just take it. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
yay.
So I feel pretty comfortable, but I love the graphic on the front. So I'm thinking maybe I'll make it attach this to another part or something.
Yeah, I
So,
get excited when I find a little golden book that's been written in on some pages because then I don't feel bad because I love, love, love little golden books.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'll use the artwork out of that. Otherwise, I cannot
Yeah.
touch them. I just can't do it.
Yeah, it feels wrong.
Mhm.
It does. I have to
And
tell you an
I
interesting story about old books though too, and I don't know if it's probably in one of my videos. I don't know. My whole life is in a video. But so I'm going through my dad's estate right now, and we found a whole bunch of antique books that were my grandfather's. And the really cool thing about them is that my grandfather doodled all over these books. He drew pictures, he wrote things. And normally, I mean, we tell kids all the time, don't draw in your books, don't write in your books, you know. Well, I'm an altered book artist, and so I've kind of overcome that. But I have to tell you that out of all the books that we looked at, the antique books, the ones that my sister and I, we don't fight, but let's say fought over, you know, we're really interested in, were the ones that he wrote in because his personality was in these books and these little drawings and stuff. So it's kind of an interesting little thing. But was that it? You had the two things, Mary?
well, I had one more thing, and it's a picture I took. I think you'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully, you'll be able to see it. Oh, wait a second. Get I don't know if you can see. Tell what it is.
It's an
It's
animal.
actually
A
it's a
dog?
horse.
A
No, it's a
horse.
horse. This is his nose.
Oh, I see it now.
Oh, I
So
see it
Yeah.
now.
Not right away.
Yeah.
he's looking in the camera.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I took this of a friend of mine. She had two horses, and I didn't see it until I came home to well, not develop, but they're digital to print it out. And I asked her if she minded if I made cards, and so that's one of my popular cards that people love this
That's
of the
really
horse.
It's cute.
And one person, actually, the reason why I made it into a card is because somebody said that one of his friends had like been thrown from a horse, and he wanted a card like this to give to his friend, you know. So like, I don't know, it was kind of weird. So I was like, okay, I'll make some cards, and I sell them all the time. So when I do shows, so, and I titled it, "Are You Talking to Me?"
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
Yep, those are my things.
Well, thanks for sharing. That was really cute. I just grabbed a couple things. I was trying to think of what I hadn't shown before. What haven't I done? Well, I've had these things sitting around for months, and I'm surprised I never shown them in a video. But I am an estate sale junkie, and I'm not having withdrawals right now because of doing my dad's estate. But there is part of me that like can't wait to get back in and see what other people have again, you know. But one of the estate sales I went to, I picked up this beautiful bottle brush type wreath, and I bought it because I was going to try to sell. I have this kind of a, I don't know, strange relationship with reselling, because I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and I finally a couple months ago just started posting things in my Etsy shop, and I was starting to sell a few things here and there, and so I was making a goal of listing 5 things a week. And then all of this happened, and I got a little depressed at first. I mean, not terrible, but I was a little depressed, and I was worried about the state of the economy and what was going to happen, and nobody was going to want to buy anything, and I didn't want to buy anything. And I kind of ignored my Etsy shop. Well, I've actually had a few sales since not doing anything, so I keep thinking, well, maybe I need to go back in and list some stuff. But originally I bought this to list in my Etsy store. But I don't know if I'm going to list it or not, because last Christmas I displayed it in my own house because I liked it. So that's one thing. And I think it's really cool because it has all the little ornaments in here. The bottle brush tree with all the little silver ornaments in it. That's kind of cool.
Now, Cyndi, do you go on the first day? Are you a first dayer, or do you go on the last day?
I'm a last dayer. For a long time. Say it again.
I have a hard time with the first day, just because of the attitude sometimes, and so I'm like, okay, if it's meant to be.
Hey guys, what is going on? We are live on Google Hangouts.
Somebody's TV or something. Anyway, yeah, no,
Probably me.
You're not here.
My husband's watching TV right next to me.
Oh, okay. I've gone a few times.
Right, like
elbow to elbow.
now, well, one room over.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, I've gone a couple times to the first day and actually gotten a number in the whole thing. But usually it's a bust for me anyway, because what I wind up wanting to go for, the reason why I go get those numbers and whatever, I'll get in there only to discover that they've got the price jacked so high on whatever it was that I wanted that there's no way I'm going to pay for it anyway. So for a long time, because I'm a bit of a hoarder, so for a long time my rationale was that I would go on the last day because it was half price, and a couple of the estate sale companies around here, I get really good deals if I go on the last day towards the end of the day, and I always find stuff. And my thinking is that if it's not there for me then at that cheap price when I can make a really good deal, then I wasn't meant to have it. So that's why I like
do the same thing.
Go. It's even more of a treasure hunt for me in a way to go and find something good that's really, really cheap. I'm all about the really, really
Did
cheap.
you have that happen to you when you found that estate sale that had all of that Halloween, the vintage Halloween?
You wanted what would I say, $150 or some crazy price for those pumpkins that I went to that estate sale at. And I told the lady, because it was going to be, no, 120. It was 120 or 125, because at half price it would have been $60. And I told the lady, I go, they're selling those for $50 on eBay. I mean, so even on their half price day, it was more than they retail for on eBay. Yeah, so I went. I was all excited, and yeah, I didn't buy anything. I did buy stuff. I did, but I didn't buy the pumpkins. So the next thing that I bought at one of the estate sales that I was at was this beautiful, I don't know how old it is. It seems old. It's a putz house, but it's not. It's much sturdier and much bigger than the ones that we normally see. And it's not terribly, terribly old. I mean, it's older, but because it has this plastic. There we go. Has this plastic area in the back where you put batteries, so the inside would light up. But yeah, it's really cool. I liked it. So it's been sitting, decorating my house. I haven't put it away yet for Christmas. You know, I got that. That's cute. And it's funny because I don't think I got it at the same sale. But look, it's got the same kind of, where's it at here? It's got the same kind of,
Brush.
yeah, on the door. That's kind of cute. And then the last thing that I got, that I brought, is this vintage. It's very old. And I don't know, I think my family would have used this like to chop cabbage with. Although right now I'm not seeing, but that's what my sister was thinking of it for. But my sister, at the school that she works at, they have a free table. And somebody had put this on the free table. And it was there forever. And she went by, I think this was the piece that she went by and discovered that it was in the garbage. Like, nobody took it off the free table for so long, they put it in the garbage. So she brought it home. That's very cool. I mean, it is very, very old. The hardware on the side there. And I think I've seen them listed before on eBay for surprising amount of money, and I don't remember, and I didn't write it.
Said, I'm out of here.
Yeah, she did. She laid on the couch like, I didn't do anything.
That's what I have.
I'm hearing other voices.
Was that little church? I'm sorry.
I'm hearing like people having a conversation.
I know.
That was weird.
Oh, that's probably on my end.
Oh, okay.
No, the lights went out in the kitchen. You turn them out?
Now I was wondering if
Oh,
that
yeah,
church
they're
that you got, Cindy, was did it look like that was manufactured or handmade?
It's manufactured. Yeah, on the bottom. Actually, it says it's made in China, so it's not terribly old. But it's, cool. It's obvious it's manufactured because it's got that battery thing.
Oh, I see.
I made it, but no, it's manufactured. But it's cool. I like it.
It's cute.
I like it. That's why I haven't parted with it yet. I got that to sell too. I pick up, see, if I go to the estate sales and I'm going and I'm thinking I'm picking stuff up to sell, I buy way more stuff than I should, and then I never list it and I keep it for myself. So I don't know where I haven't quite found the happy medium in there yet, you know, to go and buy only things that, or actually sell the things I pick up.
I think we're all borderline hoarders.
Definitely.
You know, because prior to doing this, I was one of those women that, you know, would go shopping and then like hide it. You know, leave it in the car for like, you know, 2 weeks or something, and then kind of all of a sudden it appeared.
Where'd that come from?
And it's like, where'd that come? Oh, I don't know. I've had this for a long time.
I have a funny little story though. We here where I live, we take our garbage to the dump instead of getting it picked up, and I find things. We have areas at the dump where you can put stuff that they just don't necessarily want to throw away yet, and I find stuff. And so for a time, I wasn't allowed to be the one to go take the garbage to the dump because I did bring stuff back. And actually,
defeat the whole purpose.
Yeah. This weekend, yesterday, Thursday, my son, we drove in his truck to the dump, and I was looking, and he started backing his truck up like he was gonna leave me. I only ended up with a couple things, but yeah, it was a running joke where I'm not allowed to go to the dump because I bring stuff home.
Well, it's like the bins, you know.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Yeah,
we don't have one around us.
This happened, so.
Yeah, we don't have one around us.
We don't have a bin.
No, we don't.
Where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to go to Connecticut or New Jersey to go to a bin. But I actually, I showed it on the one video. I got one of those little, they're in the little hats, glass hats, and it was the Vaseline glass. And I actually just sold it like a week or so ago. So it's pretty cool. I wouldn't think to find something like that at our dump, but they had put it in a spot where well, there's two spots. There's one where you dump the actual garbage, and then there's like one of those big dumpsters. And sometimes people put stuff down there that they don't want to throw in, and that's where I found it. I was surprised. So, but I do the same thing.
Some people don't care. They'd rather just
No.
have it out of their hair, you know, and
Yeah,
not deal with
yeah.
it.
Yeah, and I do the same thing sometimes with my truck. Well, now my sheet trailer, I can bring it down there.
Yeah.
They won't see it. Actually, I think I gave my secret away because my husband's behind the partition.
Too funny. So
Yeah.
both of the things that I have, like my computer doesn't show my time and my cell phone camera's on. So, but I think we're getting up to close to about an hour. So we'll go ahead and we'll stop. I did want to tell you guys that tonight, if you don't know Fatbird Finds, if you've ever seen them or are familiar with them, they're doing a live.
Yeah, I've been following them.
Okay, so when we're done here, they're actually doing a live. They're Central Time, so it was 7 Central, which means it would be 8 o'clock our time. And then there's another thing that I thought I would tell you guys about that's also about the same time, but you can go in and watch it at another time if you want to. But if you've ever watched The Office or, oh, I can't think of the name of his action, Jack Ryan, John Krasinski, who was in The Office, he has a YouTube channel and he does Some Good News, SGN, and it's really kind of nice to watch. Anybody seen it yet? Anybody
I
familiar?
heard about
No.
it. I heard
Okay.
he's going to do a prom.
Yes, that's tonight. So when we're done here,
Oh, is
he's
it
doing that tonight live also. So there's 2 live things going on. But you know, I mean, you can go in and check them out afterwards too. But yeah, his is very. I enjoy his channel because literally it's just good news. So it's all things that kind of help you during this time when we're all kind of just, you know, something nice to watch.
I go straight for horror movies.
Like, it can't get any worse.
I don't know what my deal is, but I need to subscribe to Shudder or something because that's all I watch is horror movies. I don't know. I have issues, I guess.
That's funny. Dee from the
I guess it's the
Thrift loves
The
horror.
adrenaline rush, maybe, and
Yeah.
the kind of thing where you have to go to the bathroom, you know, and you're creeping around your house.
That's funny.
I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
not me. I like comedies and anything that makes me feel good. If it makes me cry, I don't want to watch it. If it freaks me out, although I do like, I like the mind horror, like Sixth Sense, those kind of things, psychological thrillers. I like those kind of things, but not horror type movies. But yeah, I want to be transported out of like the awful world that I live in through comedy and, you know, fun stuff. So anyway. But it was nice to meet all of you
Now
guys. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming.
Yes.
Thanks for putting this together.
Yeah, it was fun. Maybe we'll do
Yeah.
it sometime. And like I said, I'm going to try to figure out how, if I can get you guys the footage of this or not. And I don't know if anybody else taped anything or not, but like I said, we can, you know, work on that. Anybody else tape, or is it just me?
No.
I'll see if I can get you something. But anyway, thanks for joining me. And thanks for coming. It was nice to meet
That's
you.
fine.
Thanks for having us.
Nice meeting you all.
Kelly, what is your channel?
Mine,
Kelly? Yeah.
Moss Stone Story.
Okay.
Actually, I added
Oh.
the other day. I added vintage to it. Moss Stone Story Vintage.
Okay.
Cyndi, are you gonna link the other channels in the description?
Yeah. When I do this, I'll probably do this for next week sometime. And when I do it, I'll put everybody's channel below so people can find you.
Okay, because I don't think I'm subscribed to either of the other gals here. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I wanted to be able to find their channels.
Okay.
Yeah, for
I will
sure.
do that.
Subscribe to you guys as well. So that's awesome.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. You guys have a good night. Enjoy,
You
and I'll
too.
see you.
You
next
too.
week.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.